So I promised a couple days ago, not even a couple days ago, that I would do a couple videos. It just feels like it's been forever because, yeah, Mercury just went into Pisces just on the 5th, and seems like it's been forever for me already, but I've been sick since, and it's actually because of Mercury going into Pisces why I am sick, and I'll kind of explain that when I break down exactly what Mercury going into Pisces means for the duality of its influence, which would be external or internal, and how it will likely manifest in a general sense. But always remember, as I said, everything's very individualized and it's very unique to each person's chart because there's no other person like you that will be living in the same time frame as you. And depending on the way that the cosmic chemistry was presented at the time of birth determines how those planet influences and signs end up bouncing off and then enabling or combining or assimilating with each other. So I'll go ahead and show you my board here. On the 5th, like I said, state of the day. And luckily, I guess for me at least, it's only going to be in Pisces until the 21st. So right when we go into Aries season, which is, thank goodness, because we're only 2 days in and I'm dying. So, and I'll tell you why, it's not a joke, it's not even joking. Part of it's probably because it's my Saturn return right now too, so I'm getting my ass whooped, but still. I pretty much got sick the actual time that it turned into Pisces. And but that's for multiple reasons. Don't just think because you're having your Saturn return right now, because your Saturn's in Sagittarius when you were born, that you'll be plagued with whatever the hell's wrong with me. It's different for everyone. So anyway, as I was saying, there's duality, obviously, with everything. The internal and then the external, right? So the internal is obviously stuff that you can validate on your own. So this would be like a spirituality or dogma thing, visions. And because Pisces is associated with Neptune, and Neptune being in Pisces, they're obviously going to be conjunct throughout this time. And there's obviously a huge stellium, which means that there's multiple planets in the same sign and essentially the same house together, which just amplifies that energy. And as I said before, balance is important. So when you have a lot of planets in the same exact sign that are all matching up, there's going to be repercussions for that because all the planets are working in unison and there needs to be some balance. So you'll likely have some really vivid dreams, maybe intuitive dreams, depending on if you're psychically inclined or you're an empath. And then the potential enlightenment's going on still because Neptune Pisces age is going to bring that out for quite a few people, especially while we still have Uranus and Aries. And then the external factor would be the illness thing, or mental fog, kind of feeling like you're just out of it, lethargic. You'll likely sleep a lot too. Also, any creative types or artistic types, you'll likely feel like some sort of surge for creativity. For example, I guess, even though this is kind of an academic thing, I incorporate my creative abilities into making my videos, so I feel compelled to do this even though I felt like death all day. But the music's working right now, so we're good. And then, also this would be a great time to do some relaxation or meditation, if you're not sick, of course. Because if you're sick, then you're obviously going to be relaxing anyway, I would hope so. Unless you're a Leo out there, and then it's just going to get worse, so don't do it. Projecting my boyfriend now. Anyway, so for general overviews, this is for everybody. If you don't fall in this category, my bad. But this is as vague as it gets for me to say, this is how it will affect everyone. Any challenges would be prioritizing your, any errands you have to do, and time management. You're likely to have vivid dreams or thoughts if you don't tend to remember your dreams, or if you tend to be a really internal, vivid imagination kind of person, then your thoughts might also be manifesting just like the dreams would for some people. And then obviously the mental fog, which I mean, if you have schizophrenia or something, you might see some crazy stuff during this time anyway. You might have a flare-up, but it's nothing visual, but it's just like this mental, like you just feel blah. And so, here's my examples here. So, right now in my chart, I'm a Libra sun. And with my solar chart for this year, I have Pisces ruling my 6th house, which is your health, right? So, and I also am a Gemini rising, so Gemini is associated with Mercury, my key planet. So, that's why the second that Mercury goes into a different sign, I instantly feel it. that has to do with my Aquarius MC too. So I'm always going to feel stuff as soon as it's supposed to happen. Like any kind of personal planets that are triggers in a transit, I'll instantaneously feel it. I always do. Like, no joke, I reference back to my Facebook to see when I started bitching, or when I remember, like, I started to feel sick with some of the things I was posting. It was like when I was eating that rainbow cake, I started to bitch to my friend that I feel like crap. And that was like around midnight of right before here. And then by the morning, I was supposed to go and do some first aid training thing, and I was dying. And now I've just been worse since then. But then we'll use my boyfriend's chart as an example. He has an IC with Pisces. And I saw him today. He was playing his guitar, and he was able to write some music down. I haven't seen that fool touch his guitar in forever. And he was making a big deal about, like, wow, I actually got something written down. And I was like, I made some breakthroughs. I'm like, well, okay. That's not, typical or frequent of him. So obviously the, Neptune, Sun, and then now Mercury's going to be conjunct with that, all on his IC. Your IC is on the cusp of the 4th house, so it's associated with your home. And it's associated with kind of like your foundation, your origin. So him being creative at home, and now he's sleeping again, which, I mean, he sleeps a lot, but he's also been mentioning dreams and stuff, which obviously I would hope that most people sleep at home. So even though, yeah, that's not the 12th house that is directly associated with Neptune, because Neptune's in that house, he's going to be having Neptune themes happen to him. So you see how these two have manifested differently. Obviously, I'm still feeling the mental fog, but I'll tell you after my sinuses and everything clear out if that's actually just mental or if that's sinus congestion. But, yeah, so if anybody else is feeling any kind of negative, I guess, God, there's the mental fog thing. If you're going through hell in this transit, luckily this is one of Mercury's short trips. So we only have to deal with this for barely even 3 weeks, thank goodness. Because I've been sick the moment that this happened, and as people have been able to tell too, I've been into a lot of homeopathic or medicinal kind of things, and I'm coming to another conclusion with that as well, and I'll talk about that in another video. I'm actually being kind of on point right now, so I wonder if it's because I'm really suffering and I'm sick and I want to make this as short as possible, or if it's the polarity thing because I'm supposed to be unlike the status quo, and when everybody's supposed to be out of their freaking mind, that's the only time I make sense. That would piss me off. I'm sure that's probably what it is, but yeah. So, like I said, it'll go into Aries on the late on the 21st, so it'll transition right over with the Sun. And yeah, anybody else who's mercurial or has Mercury as their key planet or whatever, or even has Aries like on their solar chart over their 6th house right now. I know I'm projecting illness because hypochondriac thing, and I'm kind of sick, so that's what I'm thinking of. Uranus is in that house, obviously, because we've had Uranus and Aries, and with it squaring Pluto, that could associate with death, So if you don't know your solar chart and you need it, you might want to contact me and look at that, and I'll give you like an idea of what you might have to expect, because Uranus being sudden, and then the Sun going there, which is supposed to represent just like vitality of self or self, and then Mercury's supposed to represent health, and it's in that health house for those people that would have that. You might come down with something really sudden, or something might just suddenly kill you, like, or maim you or something, I don't know. And with infectious diseases coming up later this year, as I've predicted with the eclipse that's actually happening on the 8th, which I didn't mention that. I'm just going to write that up here. There's an eclipse happening on the 8th. Actually going to do another follow-up video about that because I don't want to get too much in detail and meander. But, I'll actually do that here tonight, hopefully. Watch, since I said that, I won't get it done because the Pisces thing, but who knows? I'm doing good so far. So, anyway, that's the Mercury and Pisces overview. And like I said, not all transits are created equal. Everybody's got a specific planet that influences them the most, that takes priority over all the others. So unless you're a Gemini or a Virgo rising, and or a Gemini or a Virgo sun, you shouldn't really have to worry about it affecting you this substantially. Unless there's other aspects in your chart. And if you don't know your chart, you gotta hit me up.